On the night of April 20th, 1989, in the remote wilderness of Montana, Patricia Meehan's life took a mysterious turn that would baffle investigators and haunt those who came to know her story. A minor car accident on Highway 200 seemed routine at first, until witnesses reported something chilling. Patricia, disoriented, walked away from her vehicle, climbed over a fence, and vanished into the darkness, leaving behind nothing but questions. Who was Patricia Meehan? What caused her to walk away from the wreckage? And how could she seemingly disappear without a trace, despite numerous search efforts and sightings? Over 3 decades later, her case remains one of the most haunting unsolved disappearances in American history. In this video, we'll dive deep into the strange and unsettling details surrounding Patricia's disappearance, unravel the theories, and explore the chilling encounters that followed. Was it a mental breakdown, a planned escape, or something more sinister? Join us as we uncover the woman who walked into the wilderness, the chilling vanishing of Patricia Meehan. Before Patricia Meehan became a face on a missing person flyer, she was a 37-year-old woman living what many might consider a quiet, ordinary life. Born in Pennsylvania in 1951, Patricia grew up in a close-knit family and had a passion for photography. She eventually moved west, searching for a fresh start, and found herself in Bozeman, Montana, where she hoped to connect more deeply with nature and her artistic calling. But despite the peaceful life she sought, Patricia's friends and family noticed something was off in the months leading up to her disappearance. She had been struggling with bouts of anxiety and stress, even visiting her parents just weeks before her vanishing. She told her family she needed to sort things out and seemed preoccupied with finding personal peace. Still, no one could have predicted the strange turn her life would take. Patricia was not known to be someone who would simply walk away from her life. But on that fateful night, something pushed her beyond the limits of what anyone could have imagined. Who was Patricia, really? Was she someone on the verge of a breakdown? Or did she have hidden secrets she took with her into the wilderness? As we delve deeper into this case, the layers of Patricia's personality and life will paint a clearer, yet equally haunting picture. It was April 20th, 1989, a quiet evening on the remote stretch of Highway 200 in Montana. Patricia Meehan was driving alone when she suddenly veered into oncoming traffic, causing a minor head-on collision with another vehicle. The crash itself wasn't severe, and no one was seriously injured. But what happened next would forever turn this routine accident into an unsolved mystery. When the driver of the other car, a young woman named Carol Healy, stepped out to check on Patricia, she was met with a chilling sight. Patricia didn't appear hurt, but she seemed completely disoriented. Witnesses described her as moving almost robotically, dazed and detached from reality. Without saying a word, Patricia calmly climbed over a nearby fence and walked away into the darkness of the Montana wilderness. What was even stranger was that she didn't seem in a rush or afraid. She simply wandered off as though pulled by an invisible force. Despite multiple witnesses at the scene, none could make sense of her eerie behavior. Moments after the accident, authorities were called to the scene, but by the time they arrived, Patricia was nowhere to be found. It was as if she had disappeared into thin air. Search parties combed the area in the following days, but there was no sign of her. No tracks, no personal belongings, no trace. What was Patricia thinking when she walked away from the accident? Was this a deliberate act, or was something deeper at play? As night fell and Patricia faded into the wilderness, the mystery surrounding her began. The question that lingers: why did she walk away? In the days and weeks following Patricia Meehan's disappearance, her face began to appear on missing person flyers, and reports of strange sightings started flooding in. From Montana to Seattle, witnesses claimed to have seen a woman matching Patricia's description. Some interactions were brief, others unsettling, but none of these encounters ever led to finding her. One of the most notable sightings occurred just days after the accident. A waitress in Bozeman, Montana, reported seeing a woman who looked strikingly like Patricia, sitting alone in a diner. She seemed lost in thought, detached from her surroundings, but disappeared before anyone could approach her. Other witnesses described seeing a disheveled woman wandering aimlessly along highways or loitering in truck stops, often appearing confused or disoriented. One truck driver even claimed to have picked up a hitchhiker who resembled Patricia. He described her as distant, barely speaking, and when she left his truck at a rest stop, she vanished into the night once again. Despite these eerie encounters, every potential lead fell flat, and each sighting left more questions than answers. Why didn't Patricia reach out for help? Was she deliberately avoiding being found, or was she in such a dissociative state that she had no idea she was missing? As the sightings grew more scattered and distant, so did any hope of pinning down her exact movements. While each reported sighting kept the case alive, they also deepened the mystery surrounding her fate. Did Patricia choose to disappear, or was she simply lost in a world of her own, wandering aimlessly from town to town? To this day, no one knows for sure. As soon as Patricia Meehan vanished into the Montana wilderness, a massive search operation was launched. Local authorities, search and rescue teams, and even volunteers from nearby towns combed the vast, rugged terrain where she was last seen. Helicopters flew overhead, bloodhounds tracked potential scents, and searchers scoured every corner of the area. Despite their extensive efforts, not a single trace of Patricia was found. The search team was baffled by how quickly she seemed to have disappeared. In those early days, searchers thought they'd find her within hours, perhaps disoriented but alive. But as the hours turned into days, and the days into weeks, the likelihood of finding her decreased. The wilderness of Montana can be unforgiving, with dense forests, steep hills, and freezing temperatures at night. Yet, Patricia left no footprints, no discarded belongings, nothing to suggest where she might have gone. As the search continued, other possibilities began to emerge. Had Patricia somehow managed to leave the area undetected? Was she hiding intentionally? Or had she succumbed to the elements, her body hidden by the vast landscape? Searchers began expanding their perimeter, looking further away from the accident site, but still found no leads. Adding to the mystery, some believed Patricia had hitchhiked away, given the sightings reported in other towns. But with no solid evidence of her whereabouts, the case grew colder by the day. The failure to locate any trace of her left both the authorities and her family in a state of limbo. How could a person simply vanish into thin air, even with a full-scale search effort underway? Did Patricia slip through the cracks of the investigation, or was her disappearance part of something far more mysterious? Despite their best efforts, the search for Patricia Meehan yielded no answers, only more questions. As the search for Patricia Meehan continued without success, attention turned to the psychological factors that might have influenced her disappearance. Friends and family began to reflect on her mental state leading up to the accident. It became evident that Patricia had been experiencing significant stress and anxiety in her life, feelings that could have pushed her to a breaking point. In the months prior to her vanishing, Patricia had confided in loved ones about feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. Her decision to move to Montana was partly an attempt to escape the pressures she faced, but rather than finding solace, it seemed the isolation may have intensified her struggles. Witnesses from the night of the accident noted her disoriented behavior, raising questions about her mental well-being at that critical moment. Could Patricia have been experiencing a dissociative episode, a psychological response that causes a person to detach from reality? Experts suggest that in extreme stress situations, some individuals might enter a fugue state where they lose awareness of their identity and surroundings. This could explain why she walked away from the accident without apparent fear or concern for her safety. The possibility of Patricia wandering off in a confused state added a chilling dimension to her case. Did she believe she was escaping something or searching for something she could no longer grasp? If she was in a fragile mental state, What drove her to take that fateful step into the wilderness? The more we examine her psychological profile, the more complex her disappearance becomes. Patricia Meehan's case isn't just about a missing person. It's a deep dive into the human mind and the extraordinary lengths one might go to escape reality. As we continue our exploration, we must ask ourselves, what truly happened to Patricia Meehan in those haunting moments after the crash? With no concrete answers to explain Patricia Meehan's disappearance, various theories and speculations have emerged over the years. Each theory presents a different narrative, weaving together the eerie details of her case into possible scenarios that could explain what happened to her on that fateful night. One prevailing theory suggests that Patricia may have intentionally chosen to disappear. Given her struggles with anxiety and feelings of being overwhelmed, some speculate that she walked away from the accident as a desperate attempt to escape her life. In a world that felt increasingly chaotic, perhaps the wilderness represented freedom, a chance to start anew, away from her past. This theory raises the haunting question: did Patricia seek to erase her former identity? Alternatively, there's the possibility that Patricia met with foul play. Despite the absence of clear evidence pointing to this, the fact that she vanished without a trace leaves room for dark speculation. Some theorists ponder whether someone in the area could have taken advantage of her vulnerability after the accident, abducting her while she was in a confused state. Then there's the chilling thought that Patricia may have succumbed to the harsh elements of the Montana wilderness. The rugged terrain and unpredictable weather could have quickly turned deadly for someone lost and disoriented. If she wandered far enough, it's possible that her body might never be found, swallowed by the very wilderness she entered. Another intriguing theory revolves around the sightings reported after her disappearance. If Patricia did survive, some wonder if she attempted to live off the grid, choosing to remain hidden from the world. This notion adds an unsettling twist to the mystery. Could she still be out there, living a life entirely separate from the one she left behind? As we explore these theories, it becomes evident that Patricia's case is steeped in ambiguity. Each possibility carries its weight, feeding into the larger narrative of a woman lost not just physically, but in a world filled with complexities and uncertainties. What truly happened to Patricia Meehan? The answers may remain hidden in the shadows of the unknown. Patricia Meehan's disappearance is more than just a cold case. It has left an indelible mark on the lives of those who loved her and the communities that rallied to search for her. Over the years, her case has become a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the unresolved mysteries that linger in our world. For Patricia's family, the years following her disappearance have been filled with heartache and unanswered questions. Her parents, siblings, and friends have often reflected on the person Patricia was and the potential she held. The uncertainty surrounding her fate has left a void that can never truly be filled. They have clung to hope, believing that one day, someone may come forward with information that could shed light on what happened that night. The case has also resonated deeply within the true crime community and beyond. It has sparked discussions about mental health, the impact of stress, and the complexities of human behavior in crisis situations. Patricia's story serves as a poignant reminder of how someone can seemingly vanish, prompting conversations about the importance of looking out for those who may be struggling. In the wider context, Patricia Meehan's case has influenced how missing person cases are approached. It highlights the necessity for awareness and the importance of mental health support, particularly in high-stress situations. The ongoing interest in her disappearance reflects society's desire to solve the unsolvable and bring closure to those affected by such tragedies. As we delve into this case, let us remember Patricia not just as a missing person, but as a vibrant individual who had hopes, dreams, and loved ones waiting for her return. Her legacy is a call to action for all of us to be vigilant, to support one another, and to ensure that no one feels they must walk into the wilderness alone. As we conclude our exploration of Patricia Meehan's disappearance, we are left with a haunting sense of uncertainty. Despite extensive search efforts, numerous sightings, and countless theories, the truth of what happened on that fateful night remains shrouded in mystery. Patricia's case serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and how quickly one can vanish without a trace. The questions linger. Did Patricia choose to disappear, escaping the pressures of her life? Was she a victim of foul play, or did she succumb to the unforgiving wilderness? Each possibility carries weight, but none provide the closure her loved ones desperately seek. In the years since her disappearance, Patricia's story has resonated with many, sparking conversations about mental health, the complexities of human behavior, and the importance of compassion. Her legacy is not just a cautionary tale, but a call to action for all of us to look out for those who may be struggling and to never take our loved ones for granted. As we reflect on Patricia Meehan's life and the unanswered questions that surround her fate, we invite you to share your thoughts. What do you believe happened to Patricia? Is there a possibility that she is still out there, living a different life, or has the wilderness claimed her forever? Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you have any information or insights about Patricia Meehan's case, please consider reaching out to authorities or sharing in the comments below. Every detail could be a piece of the puzzle that helps bring her story to light. Until next time, let's continue to seek the truth in the shadows and remember those who have vanished without a trace.